there's a cyclone coming. Where's Dorothy?
Dorothy, where are you, Dorothy?
Here I am, Aunt Em.
Quickly, Dorothy, run for the cellar.
Toto! Come back! Where are you, Toto? Oh! Toto! Hang on! Toto! Everything is so still. I wonder where we are. Toto, come back. Why, Toto, this doesn't look like Kansas at all. I've never seen such beautiful flowers in Kansas. Oh, listen to the pretty birds, Toto. We must be far, far from home. Why, we're not alone. Here come some people.
You are welcome, most noble sorceress, to the land of the Munchkins. We are so grateful to you for having killed the Wicked Witch of the East and for setting her people free from bondage.
You are very kind, beautiful lady, but there must be some mistake. I have not killed anything.
Oh, your house did, and that is the same thing. See, there are the Wicked Witch's 2 feet and her silver shoes sticking out from under your house.
Oh dear, whatever shall we do?
There is nothing to be done.
But who was she?
She was the Wicked Witch of the East, and she has held all the Munchkins in bondage for many years, making them slave for her day and night. Now they are all set free, and we are grateful to you for the favor.
Who are the Munchkins?
They are the little people who live in this land of the East.
Are you a Munchkin?
No, but I am their friend. When they saw the Witch of the East was dead, the Munchkins sent for me. I am the Witch of the South.
Oh, gracious! Are you a real witch?
Oh, yes, indeed. But I am a good witch, although I am not as powerful as the wicked witches.
But I thought all witches were wicked. And Aunt Em told me that the witches were all dead, years and years ago.
Who is Aunt Em?
She is my aunt who lives in Kansas, where I came from.
I do not know where Kansas is. But tell me, is it a civilized country?
Oh, yes, very.
Then that accounts for it. In the civilized countries, I believe there are no witches left. But, you see, Dorothy, the land of Oz has never been civilized, for we are cut off from the rest of the world. Therefore, we still have witches and wizards among us.
Who are the wizards?
Oz himself is the great wizard. He is more powerful than all the rest of us together. He lives in the city of emeralds.
Look, Glinda, look at the Wicked Witch.
You see that, Dorothy? She was so old that she dried up in the sun. But the silver shoes are yours, and you shall have them to wear.
The Witch of the East was proud of those silver shoes, and there is some great charm connected with them. But what it is, we never knew.
I am so anxious to get back to my aunt and uncle in Kansas. Can you help me find my way?
At the east, not far from here, there is a great desert, and none could live to cross it. It is the same at the north, for I have been there and seen it. I am told that it is the same at the west, and that country is ruled by the Wicked Witch of the West, who would make you her slave if you passed her way.
The south is my home, and the same great desert surrounds all this land of Oz. I'm afraid, my dear Dorothy, you will have to stay and live in the land of Oz.
But I want to go home to Kansas.
Do not cry, Dorothy. Perhaps the great Oz himself can help you. You must go to the city of emeralds.
Where is this city?
It is exactly in the center of the country.
Is Oz a good man? Will he really help me?
Oz is a good wizard. Whether he is man or not, I cannot tell, for I have never seen him.
How can I get there? To the Emerald City?
You must walk. It is a long journey through a country that is sometimes pleasant and sometimes dark and terrible. But I will give you my kiss, and no one will dare injure a person who has been kissed by the Witch of the South. The road to the City of Emeralds is paved with yellow brick, so you cannot miss it. Tell Oz your story, and I am sure he will help you. I must get back to my own people now. Goodbye, Munchkins. Goodbye, my dear Dorothy.
Well, Toto, my shoes are so worn. Surely they will never last on such a long journey as we must make. I wonder if the silver shoes will fit me. They would be just the thing to take a long walk in, for they could never wear out. They just fit. Come along, Toto. We will go to the Emerald City and ask the Great Oz to help us get back to Kansas. Goodbye, my friends. Thank you for the silver shoes.
You have surely earned them. Goodbye, Dorothy. Just stay on the yellow brick road until you reach Oz. Goodbye. Goodbye, Dorothy. Goodbye.
We've been walking for hours, Toto. I would be tired if it were not such a pleasant walk. It is much prettier than Kansas, don't you think? Oh, look, Toto. There are 2 yellow brick roads. Whichever should we take?
Take that one.
Who said that?
I did.
Who?
Me.
Who are you? And where are you?
I'm right up here. Where else would a scarecrow be?
Did you speak Scarecrow?
Certainly. How do you do?
I'm pretty well, thank you. How do you do?
I'm not very well at all. It's very tedious being perched up here night and day to scare away crows.
Can't you get down?
No, for this pole is stuck up my back. If you will please take away the pole, I shall be greatly obliged to you.
If you say so. There.
Thank you very much. I feel like a new man.
You look rather wobbly, Mr. Scarecrow.
Oh, I'm fine, see? Woo!
Oh, do be careful. You almost fell.
Thank you. Now, who are you, and why are you following the yellow brick road?
My name is Dorothy, and I'm going to the Emerald City to ask the Great Oz to send me back to Kansas.
That's nice. Where is the Emerald City, and who is Oz?
Why, don't you know?
No, indeed. I don't know anything. You see, I am stuffed with straw, so I have no brains at all.
Oh, I'm awfully sorry for you.
That's all right. Do you think if I went to the Emerald City that Oz would give me some brains?
I cannot tell, but you may come with me if you like. If Oz will not give you any brains, you will be no worse off than you are now.
That is true. I think.
Don't mind Toto, Mr. Scarecrow. He never bites.
Oh, I'm not afraid. He can't hurt the straw. You see, I don't mind my legs and arms and body being stuffed because I cannot get hurt. If he bites me, it doesn't matter, for I can't feel it. But I do not want people to call me a fool. And if my head stays stuffed with straw instead of with a brain, as yours is, how am I ever to know anything?
I understand how you feel. If you come along with me, I'll ask Oz to do all he can for you. Come along.
Do let me carry that basket for you. I shall not mind it, for I can't get tired. I'll tell you a secret, though. There is only one thing in the world I am afraid of.
What is that? The Munchkin farmer who made you?
No. It's a lighted match.
Oh, I see. Mr. Scarecrow, the road is getting rather rough and the woods is just ahead. I am quite hungry. Would you like to sit down and have a piece of bread with me?
You sit down, Dorothy. I am never hungry. And it is a lucky thing I am not, for my mouth is only painted on. Tell me something about the country you came from, Dorothy.
Oh, I lived on a farm with a great gray prairie on every side. And it is flat. And the grass is not really green, but rather gray like everything else. And sometimes we have huge windstorms called cyclones. That is how Toto and I got here.
Oh, you came on a cyclone. That sounds like great fun. But I cannot understand why you should wish to leave this beautiful country to go back to a dry, gray place like Kansas.
That is because you have no brains. No matter how dreary and gray our homes are, we people of flesh and blood would rather live in Kansas than in any other country, be it ever so beautiful. There's no place like home.
Of course, I cannot understand it. If your heads were stuffed with straw like mine, you would probably all live in beautiful places. And then Kansas would have no people at all. It is fortunate for Kansas that you have brains.
Now you tell me something of yourself as we walk along. Have you always lived in Oz?
Oh, yes, all of my life, though I was only made day before yesterday. What happened in the world before that time is all unknown to me. Luckily, when the farmer made my head, one of the first things he did was to paint my ears so that I heard what was going on. There was another munchkin with him, and the first thing I heard was the farmer saying, "How do you like those ears?" "They aren't straight," answered the other. "Never mind," said the farmer. "They are ears just the same. Now I'll make the eyes." So he painted my right eye, and as soon as it was finished, I found myself looking at him and at everything around me with a great deal of curiosity, for this was my first glimpse of the world. Then he painted my other eye and made my nose and mouth, and I had great fun watching them make my body and arms and legs. And when they fastened on my head, at last I felt very proud, for I thought I was just as good a man as anyone. But I have no brain.
Mr. Scarecrow, it is almost dark under these trees. Should we follow the road into the woods?
If the road goes in, it must come out. And as the Emerald City is at the other end of the road, we must go wherever it leads us.
Anyone would know that.
Certainly. That is why I know it. If it required brains to figure it out, I should never have said it.
What is it, Toto?
Oh.
What is that?
Oh.
I don't know, but I can go see. You stay here.
Oh.
Over here, Dorothy. What is that?
Why, it looks like a tin man with an axe in his hand. But he is so still. He could not have made a noise.
Oh.
Did you groan, Tin Man?
Yes, I did. I've been groaning for more than a year, and no one has heard me before or come to help me.
What can I do for you?
Get an oil can and oil my joints.
I'll go get the oil can if you tell me where it is and what it looks like.
It is on the shelf in my cottage. You will see it.
Don't move. I'll be right back.
Don't move. I can't move. And I haven't moved for so long I'm not sure I'll remember how. You see, little girl, my joints are rusted so badly that I have been stuck here. But if I am well oiled, I shall soon be all right again. And I am very grateful to you.
I'm back. Now, where should I start?
Oil my neck first. Oh, that feels wonderful. Now, oil the joints in my arms. This is a great comfort. I have been holding that axe in the air ever since I rusted, over a year ago. I'm glad to be able to put it down at last. Now, if you will oil the joints of my legs, I shall be all right once more.
However did you come to be standing like that in the woods?
As a woodsman, I had to chop much wood, and one day I was so busy that a rainstorm came up suddenly. And as I had forgotten my oil can,
Before I knew it, my joints had rusted, and I could not move. I might have stood there always if you had not come along, so you have certainly saved my life. How did you happen to come along this way, when no one has passed here in a whole year?
We are on our way to the Emerald City to see the great Oz.
Why do you wish to see Oz?
I want him to send me back to Kansas, and the Scarecrow wishes him to put a few brains into his head.
Do you suppose Oz could give me a heart?
Haven't you got one?
Alas, no. The tinsmith who made the rest of me forgot to make me a heart. So if you will allow me to join your party, I will also go to the Emerald City and ask Oz to give me a heart. For it is a terrible thing not to be able to love.
All the same, I shall ask for brains instead of a heart. For a fool would not know what to do with a heart if he had one.
Let us be off, my friends. There's a lot of thick woods ahead before we reach Oz. Bring along your axe, Tin Woodman. And, oh, don't forget your oil can. How long will it be before we are out of the forest?
I cannot tell, for I have never been to the Emerald City. But I'm sure it's a long journey.
Oh, dear. Don't you dare bite, Toto. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. A great big beast like you trying to bite a poor little dog.
I didn't bite him.
No, but you tried to. You are nothing but a big coward.
I know it. I've always known it. But I can't help it.
Just to think of a big beast like you striking a stuffed man like the poor Scarecrow.
Is he stuffed? No wonder he tumbled over so easily. Is the other one stuffed too?
No, he's made of tin.
That's why he nearly blunted my claws. When they scratched against the tin, it made shivers run down my back. What is that little animal down there at your feet?
He is my dog, Toto.
Is he made of tin or stuffed?
Neither. He's a meat dog.
Oh, he's a curious animal and seems remarkably small. Now that I look at him, no one would think of biting such a little thing except a coward like me.
What makes you a cowardly lion?
It's a mystery to me. I suppose I was born that way. All the other animals in the forest naturally expect me to be brave, for the lion is everywhere thought to be king of beasts. I learned that if I roared very loudly, every living thing was frightened and got out of my way. Whenever I met a man, I was terribly scared, but I just roared at him, and he ran away. And of course, I let him go.
But that isn't right. The king of beasts shouldn't be a coward.
I know it. And it is my great sorrow, and makes my life very unhappy. However, when there is danger, my heart begins to beat so fast, it scares me.
Perhaps you have heart disease.
It may be.
If you have, you ought to be glad, for it proves you have a heart. For my part, I have no heart, so I cannot have heart disease.
Perhaps if I had no heart, I should not be a coward.
Do you have brains?
I suppose so, although I've never looked to see.
I am going to the great Oz in Emerald City to ask him to give me some brains. For my head is stuffed with straw. See?
You're absolutely right. No brains. Do you think Oz could give me courage?
Just as easily as he could give me brains.
Or give me a heart.
Or send Toto and me back to Kansas.
Then if you don't mind, I would like to go with you. That is, if you don't mind.
No, of course not.
Do come with us.
Let us be off to Oz. How much farther do you think it is to Emerald City?
Not far at all, I should imagine. We have walked many miles.
Look up ahead. The sky is all a green.
That must be the Emerald City. Oh, let's run!
wish in the Emerald City?
We came here to see the great Wizard of Oz.
It has been many years since anyone asked to see Oz. He is powerful and terrible, and if you come on an idle or foolish errand to bother the wise reflections of the great wizard, he might be angry and destroy you all in an instant.
But it is not a foolish errand, nor an idle one. It is very important, and we have been told that Oz is a good wizard.
Well, so he is, and he rules the Emerald City wisely and well. But to those who approach him from curiosity, he is most terrible, and few have ever dared to see his face. I am the guardian of the gates, and since you demand to see the great Oz, I must take you to his palace. But I cannot say if he will see you or not. Come with me. Please have a seat here while I go to the door of the throne room and tell Oz you are here.
I'm scared.
Don't be frightened, Lion. I'm sure Oz will help us all. I'm sure he will. Have you seen Oz?
Oh, no, I've never seen him. But I spoke to him as he sat behind his screen and gave him your message. You are very lucky indeed. He said he will grant you an audience right now, but only for a minute. Step this way.
Sir, if I may ask, why, if Oz has seen no one in such a long time, has he agreed to see us?
Oh, it is true he does not like to have people ask to see him. Indeed, at first he was angry and said I should send you back where you came from. Then he asked me what you looked like, and when I mentioned your silver shoes, he was very much interested. At last I told him about the mark upon your forehead, and he decided he would admit you to his presence. That is the signal. Go into the throne room. You too, Lion. Do not keep the great wizard waiting.